Hey everybody, so I was gonna go outside and sit, but there's some people over there, so I thought I'd just come to the car. And it's a lot cooler outside than it is in the house. If you're wondering why I'm out of breath, it's because of going up and down the steps and just being hot in general. But I told you guys at the end of yesterday's video I would tell you more about my meeting with the rabbi and how it went and some things that he said, and just made me really think about. So I had a list of 21 questions that I asked him. It ended up being like 23. And he was he seemed like a very genuine, sweet guy. And after I kind of told him about me and about my journey and everything that's gone on with me, he was like, well, now let me get it straight and you tell me if it's true. And what he told me was exactly me. He said, it seems like your family is very important to you and you have a lot of respect for your family and your history and how you grew up, and also for how you were taught to believe. And he said, even though you are very strongly like you don't believe that. And I was like, yeah. And he said, like, it seems to him, from what I told him, that I wanted to believe something and I tried to not be in a religion, but found it actually more of a challenge than being in a religion. And he said that it seems to him like I'm just on my path trying to find what works for me. Sorry guys, it's too hot. I don't know if you guys, I'll try to edit it where you can see me good. But yeah, basically just on the path to where I need to be and searching. And he said, like, I want to be a part of a religion. I want to have a belief system, but that those things can't have like rigorous rules and everything and stuff I have to like 100% do. Sorry guys, I'm like freaking sweating like crazy. Oh my gosh. So after he told me those things, I was like, yes, that is definitely me 100%. And so we got to talking and I asked him some things, and one of the big things that stayed with me was when I asked him about the Garden of Eden, which was ironic because that really wasn't like, it was on my list of questions, but it wasn't like a major question that I wanted to ask. So we did a lot of talking about that and a lot of talking about creation and sin and the devil and just a lot of different things. And it was really cool, and he really made me think about some stuff. And it was cool because growing up, you hear that story, you read it over and over again in church, and it's like you miss these several key points, whether it's because of a translation or, you know, a preacher's interpretation or something. You just completely bypass it. And you know, the stereotype of Jews always answering a question with another question. That was, for the most part, the case with this meeting, and I loved it because it gives you interaction and it really causes you to think. And also, on another hand though, it was kind of annoying because I'm searching for the truth, which means I want answers, and at the same time I know that I can't get answers because I'm talking to another human. I'm not talking to the creator, and even if I did talk to the creator, he's not going to give me all the answers because then I would be God too. So it's just one of those like frustrating things. But what I took away from it was just what I've been doing lately is just to rethink everything and try to think of it from different angles and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I really loved that we actually opened the Torah together and we read together, and he like just had me really think about some stuff, and it was really cool. And he talked a lot too about what I had learned online from videos, is that Jewish people, or in Judaism, you focus more about life versus the afterlife. And that's always something that was the opposite for me as far as when I was growing up. In Islam a little bit too, but Islam, it was kind of like a combination of both, because there's so many rules and stuff you have to do in life to even get to a good afterlife. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but he said basically the bottom line of Judaism is be on your path and do good to others and just live your life to the best that you can, because he said one big thing is you don't want to die with regret, or asking yourself, what could I have done better, or what could I have done differently. He said live your life to the best, love God, love people, and that's it. And one thing I really liked too that he mentioned is that a lot of people there in the congregation at the synagogue, he said there's some people who follow like the Jewish diet. There are some people who don't. There are some people who do like modifications. And he said it's totally fine. It's just whatever works for them. And I really loved it. And I love the idea that I can be a part of something that has so much history and so much culture and so much to it. Even though a lot of people like hate Jews and the faith and everything, I kind of look at it as going back to the basics. Like, because I was born basically into Christianity and then I converted to Islam, I feel like it's all unnecessary, and it's just it's like not as good as the original. It's like really bad movie sequels, where you're like, I really could have lived without these. Like, let's just stick with the first movie and we're good. I feel kind of like that. Like it's just going back to the basics, being simple and just doing the best to my ability. Like, he did mention too that starting in like October, there's going to be they're starting up the Hebrew and the Introduction to Judaism classes, which I'm seriously considering taking, because even if I decide not to become a Jew, it'd still be cool to learn and to be a part of something in a community. He did say I was welcome to come anytime to a service or to any event or anything, so that was nice. It's not like I'm not Jewish so I can't go, so that was cool. And he said there's actually a lot of people that marry non-Jews, so there's a lot of interfaith families, which I got a pamphlet on. Yeah, like it was just like really cool. And I think he was maybe a bit cautious because of my track record or the fact that I knew Muslims, and here I am in a synagogue. I don't know, but it was really refreshing. And I was watching videos where people talked about when they convert to Judaism, you have a sense of home because it's all about community and being with other people and helping people versus being all about the belief system, which is something that I'm used to. So that was really cool. And I do have that feeling. When I went the other night, I'm sorry guys, I'm moving so much, but it's just so hot and I'm uncomfortable. But when I went Friday night for the Shabbat services, I don't know if this is like a regular thing for them or if they have like, I don't know if they would call it a sanctuary or what, but it was out in this like garden area, and there was like this white mesh overhang, and they had everything all set up, and there's chairs and stuff, and it just felt really peaceful, like very, very peaceful, very calming, I was nervous to go, and I talked about this in the vlogs. I was nervous to go, but once I got there, it was like, in a way, yeah, it was like coming home. You get that coming home feeling when you walk into this place. Like, it's just like I've been there before. It's really weird, but which is something different, because when you go into a church, you feel kind of isolated and very different from everybody. And sometimes people aren't welcoming at all or two-faced, and you can totally see it. When you go into a mosque, you're very scared because everybody looks different, everybody smells different, there's all this different food if they have food, and it's basically a culture shock. So going into the synagogue, it was just very awesome, I think is the right word to use. It's just very calming, peaceful, home feeling. Like, it just felt good. So one thing he did tell me too, I asked him, I was like, when do I become a Jew? Like, what do I do to become a Jew if I decide I want to do it? And he said that basically, once you feel like you're a Jew, then you are a Jew. And I was like, oh, well, okay. So, I've just been watching so many videos. He gave me a couple of websites and a book to study. And like I said, I got a couple of pamphlets pamphlets. How do you guys say it? Pamphlets or pamphlet? I don't know. A couple of little booklets. So, yeah, I'm just going to study. And the cool thing is like with the surgery coming up, I'm focused on just living a healthy year, a really good year, you know, making some positive changes. And my birthday, the actual day, falls on a weekday. So, what?
I'm going.
Okay, you don't have to tell me.
Yeah.
So my birthday, the actual day, falls on a weekday. And I am, that same day is actually Rosh Hashanah, which I looked up, and it is the Jewish New Year. So you celebrate, you eat, and I told the rabbi this too. I was like, you know, one thing that I fell in love with it was because I'm so focused on making changes and trying to live positive and just trying to be a good person and really completely do a 180 on my life. And there's a part where after you eat and after you talk and after you reflect on the year past and the year before, you take some bread and you go to the water and you throw in pieces of bread representing throwing away your sins and asking forgiveness and then being cleaned by the water. So I thought that was really good, and the fact that it comes on my birthday is just an even greater thing, and I kind of took that as a sign that this is something that I should run with. So can I help you? Yeah. What do you want? Oh my gosh, I'm 12 minutes into this video. I didn't mean to ramble that much, but okay, I'm gonna go. So that was the meeting with the rabbi. Everything was cool. I'm gonna go back at some point. I don't know when because of gas or needing a bus ticket.
You good surgery, inshallah.
Thank you. But yeah, I'm definitely going back. I'm definitely gonna take the classes, and we're just gonna see where it goes. I'm definitely gonna be celebrating Rosh Hashanah and the Yom Kippur and everything like that. I just don't know technically how to celebrate, but I'm gonna do something, and yeah, it should be an okay rest of the year. Hopefully the snow doesn't ruin everything. So I'm gonna go because he keeps touching me and picking at me. So I will catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.